Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So, hi, Roos. Welcome to Babylon.
Hi, Pranav. Thank you.
How are you doing today? All good. The weather is good in
Yes.
New York.
The weather is good. I went for walks on the beach. That's about all we can do these days. It's just 5 kilometers away. So, yeah,
I
I can
know.
still
And
do that.
time is
Thank
like
God.
after 4:30 when it gets darker, it's get chillier. After every day,
Yeah.
it's also.
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay. So our January event features topic for immigrants, migrants and asylum seekers. Our guest for this webinar is Roos Demol, who is the founder of International Community Dynamics and the Chief Executive Officer at Recruit Refugee Island. She is also a very prominent social activist, raising her voice for interculturalism, refugees, and asylum seekers. In this webinar, we'll be talking about the current situation of the direct provision system in Ireland, employment opportunities for asylum seekers, and what is the support provided by the Irish government and the organization. We also have an article on our Babylon website for you all viewers to read. So, Roos, let's straight away go to our very first
Yeah.
question for this webinar. That would be, what is the mission and the value and the vision of ICD and how ICD came to be?
Okay, so I will start with the very beginning.
Okay.
In 2014, I think I used to always be a blogger, writing about myself in Ireland, and I then was fed up with writing about myself, so I thought I'm going to talk about other people who move into Ireland, because I think we have similar issues, no matter where we come from. Maybe Belgium, I'm European, that's my luck, so I don't need a visa, but there are other things that are also problematic, like schools, childcare, healthcare, so I started doing that, and then I met a lady who started an online radio station for all the people who moved out of Ireland after the recession. And I said to her, well, I would love to do something for those who moved into Ireland. So that's how it all started. I got a program then called The New Rebels, and I invited people in the studio, and I talked about their life here, and the good sides, the bad sides, anything goes. And also I played their music, world music. It was really nice, and that way I met an awful lot of people, and I connected with the African community, because they had an office right next to where the studio was as well, and we went and broadcasted Africa Day celebrations live and all that. So I met a lot of people. I also met a good few asylum seekers, and I wasn't too aware about direct provision, but through doing that I learned more and more about it, and I was really shocked that a system like that could exist in Ireland after they've been through the Magdalen laundries and the industrial schools for orphans. And so I thought, no, this isn't right. And then in 2014, the Kinsale Road Accommodation Centre started a protest, and they threw out all the staff and took over the centre. And that made headlines, and I went to join them. I thought, okay, now I'm going to help. And I went there just to support, but I also brought some food to people because they needed to cook their own food. So I talked to the Nigerian women in Bandon and said, cook some jollof rice so I can take them. So these big pots of jollof rice and stuff like that. So and then I never looked back, actually, because I could see the problems there, and I could see how difficult it is to live in these places, and with very, very little money. In those days, it was still €19. Now it's €38 a week. So I kept going in and out, and I met someone there from Burundi who used to be one of the national executive commissioner of the Scouts group in Burundi, which is there. It's very important, and he used to work with UNICEF, but he's now a refugee. So he was there, staying there, and he told me, the best thing that ever happened to me was when someone gave me a guitar, because I could forget about everything and play my guitar. When you play an instrument, I don't know if you play music, but I do. It's you have a relationship with your instrument, and so and he said, wouldn't it be nice if you could collect guitars? And I said, well, I put it on Twitter, and I put it on Twitter and Facebook, and actually it went really, really well. We collected 30 guitars, 7 keyboards, violins, all kinds of
Wow.
instruments. Yeah. And then we started teaching guitar, and then I found that there were some really good musicians in the Direct Provision Center. One of them was an Indian tabla player.
Yeah.
There was a Ukrainian man with the most beautiful voice in the world, and they were all starting to jam together. And I thought, oh my God, So we organized the World Music Day across the road from the Direct Provision Center, and then suddenly we got all that press attention. And we were asked to go and play in Limerick and all over the place. So we needed a name, and we called ourselves Citadel. So we then became a world music band from Kinsale Road Accommodation Centre, where people from 8 different countries were playing their music in their language from their homes with their own instruments, and we all mixed, and it was an absolutely fantastic thing. So that's oh, there's someone who's looking for tickets. Is it still possible to get some? I'm sorry, I'm just getting a message here.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's where it all started, and after that we just kept. I kept bringing clothes as well to people in Direct Provision. I had an arrangement with a lady who has a charity shop, and she gave me the best second-hand clothes that she got, and I would bring them to Direct Provision then, because people had no money to go and buy clothes. So I would bring the clothes there and put them out of the bags, and it would be a bit like a market. People would come, and I'd sit down, and they would come and choose the clothes. And that's how I got to talk to people, and got really, I got to know them really well. And that's how I made real friendships there as well, and learned a lot about what it's like to live there, and also about the problems that people face there. So going on, because I could talk about this for hours. Okay.
Yeah. It is sounding interesting. Everything that you say about all these cultural, different people from different backgrounds coming together, their stories, and there are like a lot of things you can talk about it.
Oh, it's just I could talk for a week if I have to,
We could definitely extend the time for the webinar then.
No, unfortunately not. So, but yeah, so I created, it became nearly like my second family. I would still call them my second family. And what I noticed then were the struggles that people face, because in the beginning, when I went in, people were not allowed to work at all. So they were just sitting there, doing nothing. Or some of them, you have to understand, some of them are the fathers of families and left their family behind because they had to run, in violent circumstances.
Yeah.
And so they've lost their status as the head of the family. They've lost their status as whatever they were doing for work. And suddenly they are nothings. Okay. So they come, and mothers as well. There are mothers who left their children behind. And the onus is on them to send money home. So what do you do in those days with 19 euro? What do you do now? 38 euro is still nothing. And many of them got exploited, were really, really exploited, and used to work for 20 euro a day, 40 euro a day, to work 12, 13 hours, stuff like that. So that's where I started to think, no, this is just so wrong, Now the government has now given the right to work to asylum seekers, those who are here for 9 months and who have not had a first decision in the case. So if you've been here for 8 months and they refuse your application, you can't work. Even while you're still there for 5 years, going in appeal and all that. But if you haven't had the decision yet, you can start to work, and you get the permission to work for 6 months each time, renewable. And then, even then, if there is a decision on your case, you can still continue to work until the time where, unfortunately, some people are on deportation lists and they can't work anymore. Okay, so there's a lot of people there who are out of work, who can't work. But then the ministry gave them that, let them work, so the right to work. And then it became the problem of finding work and finding meaningful work. And I
Yeah.
knew people there who are engineers. I know people. I knew there was a doctor there at that time. There IT specialists, all that. And what could they do but go and clean the toilets in those stores or something like that? So I thought that was just so wrong.
Yeah.
And what I used to do as well is look for the strengths in people. You know, I like doing that, and so there's a big Asian community as well in the Direct Provision Center from Bangladesh, from Pakistan, India,
Yeah.
and they played cricket all the time outside, and so I first did an, an appeal on Twitter to ask for bats, and
Yeah.
that viral, and I got so much attention, and it went on the radio, and then the people were inviting them to come and play. UCC, the University of Sanctuary, invited us over, and they gave us their cricket pitch, because the guys were just playing in between the buildings there, which is, there's no space really to play cricket.
Yeah.
So they went training on the cricket pitch, and they even beat Cork County Cricket Club.
Cricket is something, it's like massive in Asian countries.
Absolutely.
People are like mad about cricket, and that's what I was thinking. Okay, were they playing against the Cork team, and what was the results? And you answered it. They were really
what happened then, because we went on the radio before one game, some people came to watch that game, and there was an old man, and he came to talk to me, and he said, I've always played cricket, an old Irishman. He's a lovely guy, and he said, and I'm so delighted that this is happening, and I would love to meet the team, blah, blah, blah. So I introduced him to everyone, and what I did was I introduced people, but also said what job they used to do. So this is this person, he's an engineer, this person, he's a solicitor. And the man was so shocked, and he said, engineers? I said, yeah. He said, but we need engineers in Ireland. I said, well, they're here, but they need a bit of support, because this one was a native French speaker. So he needed to be, to learn technical English is his only problem. So what that man did then, he hired this engineer at a lower level, but so that he would get back into work after 3 years and get used to working and learn the language and all that. So that's where I got the idea from. Employers want to help. They really do, but they don't know how. They have no idea about the right to work. So we need to do something more. So I was talking to a Zimbabwean friend then, and he said he's an accountant, and he invited me to Business International Network, and they do breakfast meetings among employers where they help each other find work and blah, blah, blah. And they gave me 60 seconds to talk. And in those 60 seconds, I explained what I was doing. We were also organizing a World Music Day, so I said that. And then I said, look, I know you're all employers. I know everyone is looking for staff. You don't know about the potential that there is in direct provision, but I do. And I know who is there. If you need anyone, come and talk to me. And my 60 seconds were over. And two guys came to me straight after and started talking to me.
That's great.
So, yeah, and they were saying we really are desperate for for people. And and that made me think, if I had a database of all the talents and skills of people who are in direct provision centers, but also refugees, because they also need to find work, the Syrians who are here and all that. And then a database of employers, and if we can connect the two, that would be a really great way forward. And then make sure that the people in direct provision get the jobs that they are looking for, not the jobs that are just there that nobody wants to do. That's the aim, really.
Not just for sake of doing job, but the jobs in your specific fields.
Meaningful, because there's been a lot of research done about this as well, and the best way to integration is access to the labor market, but not like, oh, you are from Africa, you need to go and do this menial job. No, it's about being respected for what you can do and to bring something new to the market as well. So that's the beginning of Recruit Refugees Ireland.
Okay.
I have a little, if I can, I'll show you our statement. So hang on.
Yeah.
Can I share the screen? Just
I
very briefly, I can do it here.
Okay.
My entire screen. Oh, no, that's not the one I want. Just 1 second. A window. There you go. Yeah. So I'm going to go beginning here. Oh,
Yeah.
this is the wrong one. Sorry. So this is the organization that we made is International Community Dynamics.
Okay.
And we made Citadel, the music band.
Okay.
Track 11, that's Kinsale Road Accommodation Center 11, the cricket club, and Recruit Refugees. So those are the 3 projects that we're actually doing.
Yeah.
And I'll just see if I can do it like this. Yeah, this is better. These are the mission, vision, and the values of Recruit Refugees Ireland. Okay, so the mission is to inspire dignity, hope, and a bright future for asylum seekers and refugees in Ireland by connecting people to careers.
Yeah.
The vision is an Ireland that embraces cultural diversity, free from discrimination, and an Ireland full of equal opportunity. And then the values are equality, dedication, and progressiveness. So that is our mission, vision, and values. So that is what we are aiming for. We are a startup, so we're at the beginning of all this. Okay, but we already have 204 people signed up, candidates signed up. Yeah, and when they sign up, we ask them to fill out a little survey, so we get some data back as well that are interesting to show to employers. So what we have seen is that 70% of the asylum seekers or the candidates there have a 3rd level education.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's completely not what people think. So I think we can change perceptions with all this as well. We can also see where the problems lie. The problems are that people in direct provision cannot have a driver's license.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to find a job, you have to find a job somewhere where the bus reaches, or where you can take a train to, and that is very restricted. Yeah. So there are things like that. And then another issue, then we can see, what do we do? Do we English, for example? Most people do speak English. 70% speaks fluent English, but the rest needs help. Okay, so we are now connected to some educational institutions who help with English learning. And then we also have to see the qualifications that these people have. Are they recognized in Ireland, or what should they do to get them recognized? Okay, so we have a website, but we're working on a bigger one, and there's someone donating us an amazing platform. He's working on it at the moment, and that is going to really create, we'll have a database there, and we'll be able to communicate as well with other NGOs, other organizations, because we are convinced that working together is always better, partnerships. And so that is in a nutshell what we're doing.
Yeah. So can you just tell me a rough idea how many people are there at the moment in the organization, or with you as a whole team?
Yeah. So we are set up as a social enterprise. Okay, so as a social enterprise, you have to have a board of directors. So we have 6 people in the board of directors, and there are 2 refugees there. There's a woman from Ukraine who used to work in the IPO as a translator. The IPO is the International Protection Office, as a translator, so she understands as well where people come from. There's one businessman, an Irish businessman. Actually, there's only one who is originally Irish. All the rest is Ukrainian, Congolese, Burundian, a bit from everywhere. Belgian, Spanish, that's it. So.
What's the large amount of people from like which nation are they from?
Oh, they're all, I mean, there's not a majority of anything.
Okay, that's
So,
all
and
right.
then, so that's the board of directors, but we work already with a few people. So I
Yeah.
started this on my own, and then I met an amazing lady. I think she's in the audience here. It's Catherine Griffin, who helps charities with their marketing, and she is absolutely fantastic, and she helped us build the website for now.
Yeah.
And she does all the, she's now our process manager, you know, so she sets up all the processes for recruitment, because that's also a specialty on its own. And then we have Mamin Zema. She's
Yeah.
also a lady who lives in Dublin, and who takes care of the recruitment. So she's our executive for recruitment. Okay, and now we also have Admire. I'm speaking French here. Admire Chikarakate, who lives in Direct Provision Center in Galway. He just got his papers, but he doesn't have a home yet. And he is going to be, he's a businessman, and
Okay.
he's going to be the recruiter for the west of Ireland.
Okay.
Okay. So that's it for now. But what we want to do is, when we get the funds, it's open 3 offices: Cork, Dublin, and Galway.
Okay.
And so we will be expanding, but we first need the funds.
So
As
like
ever.
right now the office is in just in Cork, or it's every
It's at home.
it's a home,
It's
yeah.
at home.
It's a home. It's a home, yeah. It's the home
Yeah.
for
Yeah, everyone works from home, and everyone works on Zoom, and it's actually amazing what
yeah.
we have achieved during this pandemic, because we started this just before the pandemic. And look, we've got all these candidates, we've got a whole website, we've got people partnering with us. It's just amazing, and that's all through Zoom from my little living room on my dinner table. You know, it's amazing.
It's
Yeah.
a lucky living room, I must say, because internet made it so easy for everyone to join
Yeah.
from all over the world, and it has made the world really small. So, like, if people are looking forward to join this organization and everything, so how can they come up and join the organization?
Yeah, so they can, the best way would be to go to our website. So it's recruitrefugeesireland.com, and there you can register. It's quite easy. Or they can go to our Facebook page as well, which is also Recruit Refugees Ireland on Facebook, and there's a register button that they can press, and then they can register from there. There's also our phone number on there. They can call us if they want to. So it's quite simple, you know. And then once they are registered, it will be Mami or Admire, you know, the job coaches, and they will contact them and go over their CVs. We will then see, are they ready to work? Are they job ready? Because some people haven't worked for a few years. Some people don't speak the language, and we'll see what is needed, and we'll talk to, you know, we'll discuss it with them, of course. What do you need to do? What are your wishes, and how can we get there? Okay, and then we work together with training institutions to achieve those goals.
That's perfect. Okay, so that brings me to the next question. Like, do you think the direct provision system is capable of processing the number of asylum seekers that are entering the system now?
Well, clearly there are not enough places, okay? But why that is bad management, according to me, okay? Ireland has very few asylum seekers, okay? Compared to any European country, Ireland is one of the very, very low ones. So they should be able to deal with it better, but they are not managing it right. For me, the whole system needs to change to get it right. All right? So definitely Ireland should not be closing their borders to asylum seekers. That would be absolutely, no, that wouldn't be right. You know, they have accepted some of the resettlement refugees, but not all of them yet, not all the ones that they promised they would get over. So, and look, Ireland is a big country, and it's got very few people in this place. Yeah.
So that's not so I was just wondering, like, if you are meeting people from different nationalities and you are like getting into the new cultures, learning new things. What about the food? Do you like the different food all over the world?
Oh, I just absolutely love it. Well, every year I'm invited to iftar, during Ramadan.
Yeah,
I get invitations, of course, not this year because of the pandemic, but before that I've been, I think, to 4 iftars. And and then everyone makes their own food. So it will be the Bangladeshi one day, and then the Pakistanis, and then the Indians, and the food
yeah,
is similar but different.
yeah,
And I absolutely love it. And I also love African food. There's a dish called sombe, the cassava leaves, and
yeah.
goat meat. I've eaten goat meat for the first
Oh,
time.
God.
Yeah, so I love it, and I love the music as well from
Yeah,
any country. I used to have a world music program on the radio anyway, because I love that music so much, from anywhere in
yeah,
the world.
yeah.
Everything apart from the pop charts, that can go somewhere else for me. That's not,
True, true.
the music is so beautiful from, original music. It's really, really beautiful. Yeah.
Definitely.
I even sing a few, because I used to play the keyboard in the band, and I
Yeah,
used to harmonize, with the backing vocals. So I can sing one song in Bengali, and in Swahili, and in Kirundi, and French, and I think there's 8 different languages.
no,
Urdu, man.
so that's a similar song you can sing in different languages or different.
No, no, no. So everyone in the band brings music from home, and we
Okay.
play that music.
Yeah.
So the man from Burundi will bring Burundian songs, and the others he will then. So you'll have a Burundian singer playing guitar, accompanied by a Ukrainian guitar player, an Indian tabla player,
Yeah.
and then an Iraqi woman doing a bit of percussion. And you have all these nationalities coming together and playing together, and very often they don't even understand each other's language. But
Yeah.
music is an
Music
international
doesn't have any
language.
language.
Yeah,
That's what this is. Yeah.
yeah.
Music.
So that's wonderful, and I can't wait for this pandemic to stop so we can start again. Yeah, I miss
Because
it.
it would be really great if we like meet in person and we can talk in person. Obviously, Zoom and online meetings are very good at this
Yeah.
moment. But meeting in person is like a different connection when you talk to people.
Yeah, and
That,
it is a bit difficult at the moment as well for Recruit Refugees Ireland because of the pandemic. So
yeah,
many places are closed. Everyone is looking for work. It's not going to be an easy time following this, I think. But we are full of energy and full of, we want to make this work. So
definitely.
at the moment, what we're looking for is seed funding. If anyone is listening who knows where to get seed funding, or who is a millionaire and wants to invest,
Want to
you
invest.
never know. It would be brilliant, because once we have the funds, we'll be flying it. Absolutely. We had some really major companies contacting us who want to work with refugees and asylum seekers, because it's part of their corporate social responsibility, the CSR, which is now
Yeah.
very important,
It
and
is.
diversity within companies is very important. So we will do well. We will do well. Yeah,
Well,
I'm
I
very
hope.
confident.
Well, I hope through this webinar and through Babylon, you might get some very good funding. And
I was just discussing with Babylon. I will start a program in February,
okay,
like I used to do, in Cork, but now it will be a bit more national. But I think I might still call it the New Rebels, and I will also use that to show people who is there, who is available, and who is looking for work.
yeah,
Apart from other things, more world music and maybe recipes for,
definitely,
for international cooking.
definitely a show on recipes of different nations. Like Irish people can like enjoy different food from different nationalities.
Yeah. They do. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So, can you shine some light on programs that ICD has undertaken to help and support these asylum seekers in Ireland? Like any programs that you have to, like typically talking
Yeah.
about the
So
RI, like
Yeah, so we have the music, of course, which is
yeah,
one thing, and we are hoping to expand that to other direct provision centers, to get other people to play. And we've already done it actually during the winter. We collected more guitars, and we've been distributing them all over Cork. keyboards as well. I managed to organize free lessons, guitar lessons for people in Macroom who are there in the emergency accommodation center there.
Yeah.
So it's just for people to give them a, just to forget about what they're going through for a while, because life is really hard in these places. So to get an outlet through music is great. If we can, we would love to expand the cricket as well. So
Yeah.
we have a track 11, and Ireland, the Cricket Ireland has said that they would want to support us to start a real club.
Oh, that's brilliant.
And so then we could have a team in all the Cork direct provision centres that would make the club together, so something like that. So those are things we do. And then also last year we did a few workshops for people to prepare them for life outside of direct provision, because people don't know Irish homes. Some people from Africa are used to cooking outside. They don't know the gas cooker, the very simple things that we don't think of. How do you work a heating system? Stuff like that. So that's what we did, and it was absolutely fantastic. We also organized these World Music Days, which we might work with Babylon to do something in Dublin as well next year when we can. It's always the way.
Yeah.
Everyone get vaccinated, please, so we can play music again. And yeah, so it's and then clothes. I still keep bringing clothes to the people there. And right now, because of the pandemic, so I'm also a member of the Cork City of Sanctuary movement, and I was there supporting people throughout the pandemic, certainly at the beginning, and we set up a residence forum, so on WhatsApp, so people could tell me what was wrong. If there was no alcohol dispensers, I would make a lot of noise on Twitter, and suddenly there would be alcohol dispensers.
Yeah.
So stuff like that, But so I try and keep supporting people in that way as well. And I get a lot of people now contacting me who are on deportation, or whatever, who want advice, so giving simple advice and referring to other organizations as well.
Well, Catherine says, don't forget Windows 4 opportunity.
Oh yeah, that was the last thing I was going to say.
Okay.
I have it here. I will show you the slide as well.
Oh,
So
sure,
you
sure,
see
sure.
it. Yeah. Hang on. Where am I here? Present a window. So this is Windows for Opportunity. So we partner with other organizations, about 12, 13 other organizations, because what we saw during the pandemic now, and everything has gone online, and a lot of people that we even refer to educational organizations came back to us saying, look, that's all fine, but I don't have a laptop. And I don't have money to buy a laptop, and I need a laptop to go to the online classes, because on the phone it's impossible.
Yeah.
So we were talking about it on Twitter, and more people started asking for laptops. So we decided to make it a national effort, and we raised so far already over 32,000 euro.
Wow.
We bought a load of laptops already. There are more coming, but we need laptops. We have applications of 700 people. Okay.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah, and these are all people who are in education. We ask them for proof, so it's not like just anyone can ask. The people who live in direct provision, who are in education, or who absolutely need a laptop for work, because sometimes some jobs don't provide the laptops.
Definitely.
So that is what we are doing now, and if people want to contribute, that would be lovely. So we are on GoFundMe, Windows for Opportunity. If you go and look for that on GoFundMe, you will come to it. It's Windows and number 4 Opportunity. And you can contribute there. And if you want to organize anything to help us raise funds, let us know and be in touch with us. You can also find this campaign on our website, recruitrefugeesireland.com.
Because as rightly said, technology at this time, it is not a leisure thing. It's a necessary thing. It's a necessary.
It is absolutely necessary. Yeah.
Without a laptop, without a cell phone, I think, because sometimes it's really hard to survive because it
Yeah.
has made everything very fast. And like today,
Mm.
also, if we are able to talk, it's all thankfully because of a laptop that we own, so that we can have a Zoom one-to-one session. So
Yeah.
yeah, these specific things are really helpful in the studies. I am just trying to imagine, because I also came from India last year itself, and
Mm.
pandemic happened. So my one whole semester was all online, and I was studying from laptop for the very first time. And I
Mm.
realized how technology helped and made us survive throughout this 2020. Though otherwise,
Yeah.
it would be really hectic for us as well.
Yeah. And one thing people should never forget when we talk about refugees and asylum seekers, especially, is that their first worry is being in touch with the family. Okay. And it's okay through WhatsApp, but isn't it nicer if you can have a laptop and get in touch that way and be on Facebook and be on all these things, because it's about home. Okay. It's not about Ireland yet. Once the family is here, once they have their papers and the family is over, then they start living in Ireland. But right now, in their head, they're living over there. And it's about making money, sending money home, making sure wife and children are okay and can come over, and that's what really, really important. So a laptop, it's not only for education. The education means a lot more than just that. It's education in order to get a job so they can send money home, or create a home for themselves here. Never forget where people come from.
True, true. It's a
Mm.
very next level hard work and things that people suffer from day to day, because a lot
Yeah.
of people think it's really normal. Everyone is doing the same thing. It's pretty normal,
Mm.
but sometimes the situation of different person is really different, and
Yeah.
people should definitely understand that it's not life is not just fair for everyone.
No.
So,
No.
as you know, that 2020 was a like very hard year for every one of us. So 2020 has been tough for everyone. So, did it present any challenges specific to ICD?
Well, the challenge is, I guess, that we haven't been able to locate an office yet, because we can't work in an office anyway. So
Yeah,
we all work from home. And I met, so we work with 3 people.
yeah.
Then we have the board of directors, but 4 people now, sorry. But I
Okay.
never met 2 of them. I met one of them once. And sometimes you forget when you're online, who did I meet in real life and who didn't I meet?
True, 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 true.
It's really difficult. And then, of course, the lack of laptops, for people who need English classes or whatever. Everything is online now. And also, of course, the pandemic is going to cause a lot of problems afterwards with jobs, but we'll fight our corner there. And yeah, I had planned to go and assist in, go and talk to uh, employers organizations or business organizations, but all that I haven't been able to do.
Yeah.
So that's all postponed a little bit. And yeah, it makes it harder. But, as long as you have the passion and the will to do something, we'll get there. We'll get there. And I work with wonderful people, Catherine and Mami, and good that Catherine is there. She compliments me, so
Yeah,
it
yeah.
reminds me of things that I forget, like she did now, and it's great. It's great. Yeah.
And she also said that you are an inspiration, and we truly feel that from the way you talk and the idea you have. Because I truly believe everything starts from an idea. A lot of time it is like people have an
Yeah.
idea, but they don't know how to execute it. And
Mm.
this pandemic, during this lockdown, you still was able to execute it and raise so much
Yeah.
money that.
And it's been difficult because I had talked about it. That's one thing I have to say. We are a little bit supported by the West Cork Developments Partnership here in Clonakilty. They
Yeah,
helped me to write a business plan because I've never done anything like it before, and I've learned a lot. I've done a master's in 2 months, a
yeah,
master's in business. But yeah, so help from other people is very important as well. But then the pandemic started, and there was a while where I thought, oh my God, this is never going to work. And I don't know what happened. One
yeah.
day I woke up and I thought, no, I'm not going to let this go. This must work. This must work. So, and then we started. Yeah. Yeah.
That is when your goal is clear and when you're dedicated about it really hard, no one can
Yeah.
really stop you. Not even the
Yeah.
pandemic 2020. Nothing can stop you. If you
No, I'm convinced that in 2021 will function normally. We will get there. Yeah.
I personally pray to God that everything goes according to your plan and you become successful, this organization becomes successful, and you get good funds so that it keeps on running, because the concept, it's really good. As
Yeah.
coming from India itself, I know how hard it is to get into a new culture. Although
Mm.
I am privileged enough that I have all the everything with me and
Yeah.
every education
Yeah.
system, but how hard it would be for the people who are suffering from this, and you
Yeah.
are there to help them. You are like a ray of hope for us, and we definitely, I definitely, from bottom of my heart, I just feel that you are doing a commendable job at the moment.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I hope it all works out, but I think it will,
It will, it
and,
will,
and,
it
and
will.
I do think it will change. And I think we already have changed perceptions because we have a good few followers on Twitter. And then through these windows for opportunity, people have seen that, okay, people in direct provision want to work, because very often these economist migrants who want to just do social welfare or whatever, none of that is true, and what we are doing is showing that people are
Yeah.
looking for work and they want to do meaningful work, and why not? Everyone is just the same, everyone is just a human being in the end.
True, 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 true. That's
Yeah.
what also whenever I'm very stressed up with the situation coming into my life, I just calm my down thinking the same thing. Like, everyone is a human being. Everyone knows what to do or not to do, and
Yeah.
that gives me the confidence to come up and talk to people about it, and that's really great. So
Yeah.
that brings us to the very last question: that how has been the support so far from the community and the government for this?
Yeah, so from the community, the thing is, people don't know much about direct provision. I'm constantly surprised about it, actually, because it's very often in the news. But you
Yeah,
really need to inform people, and there is, ever since as well, it's increased even since the Black Lives Matter stuff that's been happening this year.
yeah,
Um, People are a lot more interested in what's going on, and there's a lot of support out there from the community, and they really wish us all well and wanted to work, and wish they could help. We've got a lot of offers. Loads of people have given us their laptops.
yeah,
One business gave us 5 new laptops, and stuff like that. So it's been really, really amazing, I must say. And
yeah,
also, uh, among the employers, I know they want to help. I know they want to hire refugees and all that, but they haven't been informed. When that right to work came in, nobody knew about it. They don't know what that, and it's also a little paper, so they don't know what a little paper saying 6 months right to work. What does that mean? So we need to advocate a lot, but I do know that there is a very positive mindset out there, and that is really wonderful. I know the government, we applied for funds, but I think just a little bit too early. I hope next year they will help us. Right now, this year they haven't yet, but the hope is there. I think they want to see changes, and they also will wait for the white paper now explaining how they're going to end direct provision, because that's a promise this government has made.
yeah.
Um, we'll see. Okay, it's been postponed already, so we'll see. I will not be celebrating before I see it happening, but we'll see. Yeah.
That's really good, because yeah, as you rightly said, sometimes the information is there, but it is very hard to promote it or publish it to a lot of people to make
Mm.
them understand. Well, I personally feel now that I also run a YouTube channel on YouTube. So it's a vlogging channel. I vlog about as an Indian student studying in Ireland.
Okay.
So I personally believe if the lockdown gets over, I'll be really happy to make a beautiful vlog on this organization. I can come up there, we can have a chat, we can like show everything. So it would be a very good promotion activity.
Absolutely, I think so. I think we can really work together because we're on the same wavelength, and it would be wonderful to have an outlet like that.
I'll be
Absolutely.
I'll be really delighted to help the organization in whichever way possible, because I truly miss cricket.
And you can come and coach even, if you're living here, why not?
Coming from Asia, the cricket is never out from your heart, and
No, that's true. That's true.
that,
It's a bit like hurling in Ireland. They go to sleep with their hurley. You go to sleep with your cricket bat nearly.
yeah.
Um, Cricket in your heart. I know. I know. Yeah, I've noticed that. Yeah.
I think that's it for this webinar, Roos. Thank you so much.
Okay.
And
You're very welcome.
we saw your PowerPoint presentation. The Windows 4 was a very beautiful job. done by you. So I hope and I personally pray that this webinar goes worldwide and you get a lot of
Hopefully.
you get
Yeah.
because the concept
Okay.
is good, but as they say, a car needs a fuel. The car is good, but it needs a fuel to run. So your concept is really good, but it's just the money that should be in.
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
So thank you so much, Roos.
You're very welcome.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank
Are
you.
there people asking questions now still?
Oh, let me
Yeah.
just see. Sonia says an amazing initiative indeed. Everyone is like just complimenting you, Roos. You're
Oh,
such an incredible woman. Irish government should support the project. So basically, all the people are supporting you in the chat,
that's great.
and
Yeah.
that's
So if anyone among these people has any ideas of funding or how, or wants to do some fundraising for us, they can
yeah,
get in touch with us via the website, and I'll be happy to talk about that, because it's an essential service. We see that with a number of people that have already signed up,
yeah.
and I think we need, if we can get the money, it will just fly. Absolutely.
Let's do one thing. Let's add your link for your website in the chat
Mhm.
so that people can look into it and
Do
they
you want
can.
me to do this?
Oh
Yeah.
no, I think we can just add the link in the
Okay.
chat and
Yeah. And a
people.
Facebook page as well, because that's where there's a Facebook page, Twitter account, and the website, and they
Okay,
can contact us through all of them. So
definitely we'll do that surely. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching. You can also go to our Babylon website and read the article that we have written. And thank you so much, Roos, for this webinar.
you're very welcome.
Hope for the
Thank
best
you.
future.
Thank you for asking me, and we'll be in touch.
Definitely, definitely. I'll definitely add you on my LinkedIn as well.
Okay, lovely. Thank you so much.
Nice talking to you. Bye.
Bye bye.